everyone, I hope you are well. Welcome to my channel. So this is where I talk about twin flame process and use my psychic abilities. I'm clairsentient, clairaudient, claircognizant and clairvoyant. And these are monthly readings by sun sign, tarot readings, and you can apply them in any way that you want. So you can apply them to your sun sign or your wherever you've got the sign in your chart, whichever house it's related to. It could also be applicable. For example, I've done one reading already for Cancer, which is about finances, it seems to be, talking about money. So maybe that you want to look and see if you've got Cancer, where you've got Cancer in your chart, which house that's in, and how it's aspected. So yeah, just to let you know that. And then to also say, if anybody wants to get a personal reading, which obviously will be a lot more in depth and personally apply, you can get all the details at my website, which is given in the description box below. Alright, so that's it. Lots of love. See you in the readings. Bye. Aquarius, July 2023. Okay, Aquarius, July 2023. Alright, so straight off what I'm getting is the energy of New York City, and I'm getting the energy of New York City circa 1976. I'm getting, they're saying almost fully formed. It feels like the basic essentials are already in place, but it feels like there's more evolution and more growth going to come about in some way. It feels in relation to either something that you're doing, like a project, something that you're being, maybe yourself, something you are concluding, they're saying, which again, it could be a project, it could be yourself. It feels, they're saying existential, but they're saying intrinsic. So it's kind of inside of yourself, but it's to do with what everything has been. There feels like they're saying the end of an illusion. So in relation to that New York 1976, I mean, you could say whatever you want to say about a place, right? Everybody's got a different point of view. 1976 was the height of disco. New York was before it became the playground of only the rich and famous. It was just a city. There was a lot of, there's a lot of change occurred in New York between then and now, and it's a completely different place. Whether it's a place that you want to be now is a completely different question. Whether it was a place you wanted to be then is something that could also be argued from the ego, right? So it feels like maybe you're becoming something that's completely different to something that you used to be, something that was you, that was a work in progress, that was the bare bones of something that was yet to be seen. Was it what it was going to be and would become? There's a lot of strength, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of, they're saying like registering on the scale of 1 to 10 about who you're becoming this month. Maybe you're entering actually into the completion of you this month and registering on your scale of 1 to 10 of your completion, and that you feel that the work has been done. They've thrown up all this energy of like all the architects that ever built anything in New York, and how some of those they're considered now works of art, and even ongoing things that are built in New York that are actually considered architectural works of art. They're talking about how the city itself can be viewed as a work of art. So it's like you're going to maybe be viewing yourself as a work of art. And Aquarius as well is a mental sign, and it's that sign of Well, it's the sign of the architect, right? You are the architect. You are the one that engages with the mind in an intellectual capacity and brings forth the ideas of the new millennia. You are the one that creates the new world. That's what Aquarius is. It's the dawn of the new age, right? So that's all about what you create and who you are, and it's all from a very mental aspect and a very kind of like a higher perspective. There's almost like this piercing intellect that they're showing me that is beyond anything. Well, I just would say it's beyond anything from the heart, actually. It's kind of like pulled up so high that it's beyond the heart, which is not necessarily something that we're looking at that's negative. I feel it's just something that is maybe beyond the capacity for you to understand this month. Something that is a heartbreak, they just said, that is you're going to have to revisit, they're saying. So maybe they're showing me these two different states of art, of the 70s and the now, because you're going to have to revisit the past some way when things weren't perfect. It feels like where you've got to in your life is absolutely right, and you've done everything that you can to bring about complete change in yourself. However, it does feel like a mental endeavour, and it feels like the heart has been left behind. And I'm not trying to have a go at you or say that anything's wrong. It's just that now the time is right for you to revisit what's in your heart. So it's like you've got all your ducks in a row mentally. So because you've got your ducks in a row mentally, it's now time to revisit what's really truly in your heart, they're saying. So you're not going to lose anything, they're saying, by doing that. You've got everything that you've already gained, and that will not be lost again. I feel there's a slight fear somehow of going back down and researching what it is that you feel you could bring back from the past. So maybe there's something you left behind that you still want, that you, in your endeavour to build a new future for yourself, you left behind. And at the time that you built the new future for yourself, it was entirely right that you left it behind, because you couldn't have built the new future without leaving it behind. But now you've built the new future and you're there, you've got nothing to do. So now is the time to go back and get what you left behind, is what they're saying. They kind of show me like a ball game, like you dropped the ball or something and you left the ball behind. And it's time to just like, and they show me like a tower, again like a high rise, and that you're coming down from this high rise building and you're going outside and you're going to go and find the ball that you left behind. It's right where you left it. It's right where you left it. In fact, they're saying the ball has grown in significance. So it's not going to be hard to find at all. It's still sitting there. They just said well dressing. So I don't really know much about that. But I do know what I know of it. Well dressing is something they do in the UK, and where they go and kind of like in villages and towns, they go and kind of memorialise the past. So they go to where the well would have been for the town or the village, and they kind of have a ceremony. It's a bit like May Day or something like that, like the maypole. It's the same kind of like, you know, Wickerman-y kind of thing that they do in the UK. I don't know what they do in other countries, whether they do that or not. But they just said that. So it's a bit like you going back to the past to reclaim something. This thing that you're reclaiming it's like they're showing me Stonehenge. So you know how Stonehenge has been there for like millennia. It's still there. It never went away. It's not going anywhere, right? No matter what anybody says about climate change, Stonehenge remains. So it's like this thing from your past is as relevant as it was then today. And it's as big and real and still there as it was then as it is today. So you're not going to have any trouble finding it, they say. So what it feels like is you've got nothing to do this month apart from go back for this thing. I don't get any forward energy. You could say, right, if you're going to ask me, if this is a personal reading and you were going to ask me, so is there anything I can do apart from going back for this thing? I would have to say to you, no, I don't get energy moving forward at all. All I get is you going back for this thing. So I get a complete standstill in terms of you moving forward. It's not a negative thing. I just get, it's like you're at an impasse, and I just get that. I'm not saying you're going to be forced to or you're going to be pressured to. I'm not even saying you're being asked to go back. I'm just saying what I get is the call of this thing in the past is going to grow stronger and stronger and stronger until it has surmounted the present and the future. So however like bright and shiny in Times Square, elaborate and Jay-Z, New York City, along with what's her face singing that song, which is really powerful, Alicia Keys, about New York is in the current day, however much the pull of the past is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So what you're going to get growing is this energy of like Starsky and Hutch, Huggy Bear, dusty streets, shenanigans going on, a lot of pornography, dusty, narrower streets, darker days. I'm kind of saying that in a fun way because it's just like they're just pulling the energy backwards to like, you've got to go back for this thing. But the thing is stood there, and it's like, the Terminator movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger comes down and he's lands and he's a big ball of fire, and he comes from the past or comes from the future and he lands in the past. It's like that. It's like this great big ball of something and it's waiting for you to go back and get it. And it's still there wherever you left it behind, is what I'm getting, standing on the same street as where you left it behind. It's all metaphorical, obviously, because wherever you left it behind is wherever you left it behind. It's just the imagery of New York is so powerful because it is a powerful place. So that's what I'm getting for you this month. And it's also, all those skyscrapers in New York are Aquarius. Every single skyscraper is the soaring heights of the Aquarian mind, right? Even to like, you can see they're pointed at the top. That is your intellect. So you are basically New York. Every single aspect of New York is Aquarian. It's about intellect, it's about achievement, it's about genius, it's about forward thinking, it's about beyond earthly possibilities, it's about clarity, it's about brightness, it's about shininess, it's about reaching higher. Everything about New York is about intellectualism. Everything about Aquarius is about intellectualism, illumination, and that's you. So that's why they're showing it like that, but they're just showing you going. Now they're saying you're going back down the street that you came from, and they're showing me this like this hollow sound of walking backwards into nothingness, where you're like, is this thing still going to be there? Is it not going to be there? Am I going to find it? Am I not going to find it? And this energy of you saying to yourself, surely I can't be going back down this street to this thing that I don't even know if it's going to be there, if I'm going to find it, is it still there? And this almost like this mesmerizing fortitude, this force that is going to take you back to this thing that you left behind, that is exactly where you left it, and it's held in a portal, it's held in a pod, and it's exactly the same as it was, and you're going to retrieve this thing, and when you bring it back into the present, you're going to open it up, and then they're showing all this golden energy coming out, they're showing all these butterflies flying out, they're showing like a magnificent future world flying out. Now they're showing like even more future, they're showing a futuristic imagery of New York, which is not just skyscrapers, but it's skyscrapers with gardens on top, and it's like all these like miniature automobiles flying around the skyscrapers, so it's like travel in the sky. So it's like it's going to take you even further forward once you've retrieved this thing from the past. Transformation in the Death card. Ace of Cups, which is love. This is the Holy Grail, which is going back for. Clarity, Knight of Swords, which is Aquarius. You've got to find this thing before you can move forward. However much you've transformed already, you've still got to find this Holy Grail before you can move forward. There it is, Page of Swords. It's coming from the mind. This is like, you can't move forward until you got this thing right. So this is like, you are always going to wonder about this thing until you go back and get it. Until this thing has been retrieved, you will always have it on your mind. So you might as well retrieve it, and then it won't have to be on your mind. You won't be able to move forward without it. King of Swords, the mind of the masculine. This is the Aquarian mind. This is the creator mind of the Aquarius, right? This is everything that you are. So you will be master of the thinking world, right? You will be the genius creator of the thinking world. You are the architect. You are the assigner. You are the, like, you know, the planner, the draftsman. You're all these things, right? But you can't be that without a heart. You've got to go back and get the Holy Grail. You've got to find the heart in what you do. It's not, I'm not saying it in a negative connotation. It's just your mission and your purpose. You can't go forward without it. Because you can't, because you're not allowed to, because it's a Lemurian age. How can you create going forward Lemuria without the heart? Healing, the star. So healing, because you find the heart in what it is that you're going to do. So you've got to find this thing that's intrinsic to what you do. They said at the beginning it's intrinsic, but it's also existential. At least I believe that's what they said. I can't quite remember. Dark to light. So again, it's bringing forward the light, the clarity, the light. It's like, aha, I've got it now. This is how it is. This is what it has to be. This is what love is. This is how I operate. This is how I combine it all. This is everything, right? This is China, Russia, the United States combined. This is world peace, you could say, right? This is everything. And then we've got a Five of Wands, which is change, energetically. And we've got the ending Nine of Swords of the torment in the mind. So it's literally like, I said it already, you've got to go and find something and you've got to bring it forward to make everything all right. And a journey that needs to take place, Two of Wands. And I think that's it, really. Maybe I'll pull one more out and what you draw to you. It's like you can't go forward till you go back. High Priestess. You've got to find something that you left behind, something that's part of you that you can't see but exists. Masculine and feminine coming together. So you're finding again the heart part of yourself. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that for Aquarius. That's for this month. Lots of love. See you next time. Bye.